Peace, love, and black empowerment. You are now tuned into Mile High News, Denver's first station for news and entertainment that is for us and by us. With your host, Noble Turner, Chairman Sekou, and General Sister Amelie Queen. Welcome. Peace, love, and black empowerment. Welcome back to Mile High News, family. This is season 2, episode 14. Our queens are back. Queens as usual, I just want to say thank you to all our donators and our supporters for Mile High News and Unity Community. Even some people on this panel here, we really appreciate it, family. You know what I'm saying? We are really making this dream come true. We are inspiring other people to do the same. So shouts out to all my landowners. And you know what I'm saying? We're trying to get it in out there in Unity Community. And tonight is pretty special to me. I had our brother Sekou and our sister Bianca and our sister Barbara. They are official Unity Community members. So you see that? We got Sister Melly, she's official too, but she don't live here in Denver, so we gotta, make other moves here and there and everywhere. Yeah, but yeah, we're gonna do that. But I'm hoping to get more board members for Unity Community because as I stated before, we're not playing with this. This is some real stuff. We're really doing this. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't believe. And I always challenge those people to come on out to the land if you're here in Colorado or Denver or the whatever around. Come on out and see what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Be a part of this. You know what I'm saying? If not this, then go out to Freedom, Georgia, in Toomsboro, Georgia, where they're doing the same thing that we're trying to do. But it's really crazy that others can do it anytime they want to. You know what I'm saying? Because they have the funding, but we just can't seem to fund ourselves. But I don't want to talk all night. It's the Queen's night. I'm sorry. I just want to thank everybody again and welcome to the Queen's Corner.
Y'all, it's always a pleasure, come and hang out with my husband and Sekou, and we got the sisters came to join us again. Gonna mess around and make them some regulars again now. But yeah, I'm gonna start off how they're trying to take talking about slavery out of the schools. So I was watching a special on YouTube and they were talking about that, and for me, we should be teaching our kids about their history and slavery and just about their ancestors, in my personal opinion. I feel like we should be teaching that too. And I'm going to let Melly chime in too because we were just discussing this and she may, feel a little bit different because, I have mixed feelings. So I think it should be in the schools and definitely should be talked about because they're trying to call them helpers and servers and all these different names to sweep it under the rug, and we all know the history. And so it's important because our babies need to know, you can't know where you're going if you don't know where you're coming from. And so that history is important. It's important because, and the reason why they want to suppress it, in my opinion, is because they don't want their kids who think that the world is just black and white and there's no more racism and everything's good. And even some of our kids, some of our younger kids who grew up in these integrated schools, you know, they have a different outlook when they're with their friends and stuff. So they don't see all of the stuff that we seen growing up, or especially my mom and my grandma. And we don't even want to get into our great-grandparents and then even further back. I mean, the things that they went through and the things that they saw. So for me, I think that we definitely should make sure that we're teaching our babies about their history. We have to let them know who they are, that they're beautiful. I mean, things are... Like, I see an awakening even in our kids. It's not just us. I see it in older people. I'm starting to see it even more in myself. And I see it in my kids, and I'm starting to see it even in the younger kids. They are speaking out more, and it's not just about protesting. And I'm not knocking protesting, but I see a lot of our young kids, they are starting to build their own. I saw this little sister the other day on YouTube, 23 years old. She's building her second small, tiny home, but it was actually pretty big, and she's renting it out, renting it out as an Airbnb. And so she has generated an income for 2 properties on her own land. So she already owns her own house, and that's where she was living, where they were building. She was building one, and that one was going to be for her. And then the other 2, she was just renting out for Airbnb. Now she's renting out both of them for Airbnb. And so just imagine, I mean, our baby's at 23, 18, 19. I think she said she got started at like 20 years old. So while the rest of her friends are out partying and all this stuff, she was saving up her money and working 2 jobs just to have enough money to start her own. And so I'm seeing a lot of our babies, like, I don't knock that my son didn't go to college. I wish he would have. And so I wasn't for it or against it, but I love that he's branching off and he's doing his own thing. He wants to have his own, and that's what I'm teaching my babies. I want all of them to have their own business. And look into the LLC. Now I can't say I've had all the stuff you see on YouTube about all these grants and stuff yet. I haven't seen none of that stuff rolling in, but I just set it up. I'm setting them up for my boys. And so I suggest we do the same thing. But as far as, you know, taking slavery out of the schools, let's not talk about it. It doesn't matter if they don't talk about it. That history is still there, and it's up to us to teach them that. And so I'll let Melly come in and...
Melly Queen!
Feels good? Thank you.
How y'all doing? Just to piggyback off you, Sister Mo, I think that it should be in the schools. They should be talking about it. My thing is, they want to not talk about it because they want to play like it ain't no issue. It's not a problem. It's not it's gone away. It's better now in 2021. Ain't shit better. It's worse than when they were even doing all the bullshit they were doing back then. I pray for a motherfucker come hit me in my eye. Cause see, I know my motherfucking eye get well. Then a motherfucker constantly kicking me in the back while my eyes closed and I can't see what the fuck he doing. Right. That's what white folks do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we need to be teaching it in our school. Right. Like I said, we at a point now in our lives, man, I don't understand what our people are looking at. I know I'm tired of the game. I'm tired of the lies. People are sitting and tell me, you are so hateful. Everything is so better now. Get the fuck out of my face. Ain't shit better. Nothing. I'm telling you, if y'all can show me anywhere on this planet where we get respect, I will shut the fuck up. But can't nobody do that. But everybody want to sell me these sugar-coated glasses and this bullshit. I'm sick of believing in fairy tales. I'm so sick of that shit. It's ridiculous. And then I sit and look at my people. It's like y'all in a daze. What the fuck are y'all looking at? Our babies are dying. What do y'all see? That's all I want to know. What do you all see going on? Stop playing games with these people. Our babies are constantly dying. And all we have to do is get up off our asses, put in the work, and build something for them. We too goddamn lazy, too comfortable, and too afraid of some motherfuckers that are just like us. I'm not scared of them. I'm sick and tired of it. I sit and think about this shit 24/7 all day long. And I don't understand for the life of me. Sometimes I think I'm going crazy. But then I just have to sit back and understand that I love my ancestors and they know who I am. I'm one of them field niggas. I'm one of them field niggas. I'm tired. I'm tired, people. I don't understand. If y'all love y'all babies, y'all cannot continue to tell me that this bullshit is all right. We don't have shit to give them. These people own everything. And then you sit playing games with these damn people every day while our children are dying. I bow out. If y'all ain't for this motherfucking building of a nation for our people, I don't want to hear nothing else about nothing else from nobody. I'm done. And I yield.
Well, I hired her.
That's Sister Melly, y'all. I'm gonna say just a couple more things real quick, and then I'm gonna get the sisters in here and on here. But yeah, just to go back to real quick why I do think they should have it in schools. But at the same time, if they don't, I'm not gonna depend on them to teach my kids about Black history. Because honestly, growing up, I went to like Hill Middle School, which was really integrated. I mean, you had Hispanics, you had Blacks, you had whites, and we didn't have Black history. And when we fought for a Black history teacher, we got Black history, but we got a white teacher who taught it. And so, of course, I didn't want to take it then. And also in high school, we didn't have anybody in that school to teach Black history. We just didn't have it in our schools. And so that's why, and also, like Sister Melly was saying, that's why I think it's important for us to have spaces for our babies so that they can learn all those things. That's why it's amazing what my husband's trying to do. And like you said, if it's not here, then we should be creating spaces all over in other states where we can connect. And so if you honestly don't feel like you're moving forward where you're at, it's okay to change where you're at and then bring it back. Turn around and reach back, and then you can build there and there. And so, if it's not happening where you're at, then sometimes you can readjust things, and then you can always still have a piece wherever you're at. And so that's all I'll say. But we got Sister Bianca in the house.
Sister B.
Peace, love, Black empowerment family. I'm coming to you this evening speaking about just a lot of things that have been going on lately. To piggyback off of what was being said earlier, our children aren't very aware of, there is a false veil over a lot of people's eyes that racism doesn't exist. Well, I definitely know firsthand that it does. I was targeted twice by TSA coming home from Dr. Umar's lecture out in Vegas. Came out here and was putting on Malcolm X Day last week, and I got searched really thoroughly by TSA twice, once before even boarding. So yes, it's very real, and because of that, we have to make sure that our children are not falling into the bullshit of believing that they can be racist. That's really the main topic this evening. So Black people cannot be racist. I repeat, Black people cannot be racist.
Cannot.
And the reason being is because we have never been in control of something to deprive or create inequality toward anybody else. That is what racism is based on. Now, you can have a prejudice toward a person, but even if we have a prejudice as black people toward any other persons, we have fact in behind it. There are reasons. It's not just it's not out of fear. Like, white people have the fear type of prejudice. They ain't even had nothing really happen to them, but they have this fear of what could happen to them. And so they have that prejudice, and that's where that's the foundation for their racism. We definitely, like, I had a troll hop into my inbox and call, and they, remained anonymous, Facebook user, and it said that I was a racist bitch and all this other stuff, and I'm just like, for one, if you know anything about me, my family is so diverse, there is no way I could even really hold a prejudice to a certain type of people, period. I couldn't. And the fact of the matter that you're saying that I'm racist and I know I don't control anything that can make anybody feel unequal, I can't single them out and be like, no, not you. You can't, I can't do that. You can't say that and I won't let any black person believe that. You're not racist. You have if you have a justifiable prejudice, you have a justifiable prejudice. And that's real. So, on that note, Auntie Millie was saying that we gotta stop letting them, we gotta stop playing with them. We do. This is a whole battlefield that we are in. We are in the middle of a war for survival. We can't be sitting up here playing around. So it leads me into making sure that even though you don't feel the need, certain people don't feel the need to stay armed or stay, but at this point, in this war, everybody needs to be physically prepared. So you need to have self-defense classes. You need gun training. If you do need any of those, www.brassknuckledefense.com. Go set up appointments. Go on ahead, get into classes. And even if it's something that you're not wanting to, like I said, if you don't feel like you need to prepare for it, so be it. But I'll tell you this much, it's better to know these things and not need to use them, and then to need to use them and not know them. We're going to be also making sure that we are prepared for survival outside our land, as far as being able to sustain really.
First.
Yes, sustainability is very key in pushing back and falling off from the white supremacy system. The only way that you cannot depend on any of this is to become self-reliant. So look into land. Land is very important. Ownership is very important. It's key. We're going to be having bug out classes here June 18th through the 20th in Alamosa, Colorado. If you want to be a part of that, get in touch with Brother Eric Randall, 720-477-9594. Aside from all of these things being said, I'm very, very serious. Forgiveness is key amongst our own people. We got to forgive our own people and have more patience with our own people than anyone else. That's why I say it's not anti-white being pro-black. It's just putting your people first. Mm-hmm. I don't have any ill will or ill bearings toward any other race of people where it's like I just want to exterminate them or eliminate them or anything like that. I just am about my people first.
And if you love your own people, then you're racist. So.
Oh.
People say so.
Well, I'm not a racist.
Everybody.
I'm pro-black. That being said, that'll be the conclusion of what I've been speaking about: peace, love, and Black empowerment.
Well, Black first. Black first.
Well, thank you, Sister Bianca. Melly, did you want to say anything before I go on to Sister Barbara?
I just want to tell her Black Power. I totally agree. I also wanted to mention, do not forget about the Tulsa Never Again going on this weekend. This is the 100th anniversary of that massacre in Tulsa. And I know that we have to focus on our history and we have to know what's going on in our history. But don't let that one incident in history 100 years ago is still stopping us today. Because I'm so sick of hearing, oh, we got put up in Tulsa.
I'm saying. Sorry.
Scary shit. Let them motherfuckers fly over now. No, flush they motherfucking ass.
Open, bro.
That part.
You hear me? Stop riding in fear, family. Yeah, we need to get together. Yeah, we need to come together. And we celebrate this shit this weekend. That's 100 years.
That's right.
100 years.
Yeah.
It's no way, man. Stop being afraid. Stop riding in fear.
Right.
I love y'all. Come on, family. We want to be better than this. I'm telling you, I'm at a point. I'm so frustrated right now. And it's not no hate for my people. I don't give a fuck about no white people. I don't give a fuck about no Chinese people. I don't give a fuck about no motherfucking Mexicans. I don't give a fuck about nobody but black people. Because guess what? Don't nobody give a fuck about us. How in the hell can y'all continue to let them continue to murder our children and we sit back and grin and go buy their Nikes, go buy their bullshit, Popeyes, the chicken sandwiches, and all that fucking bullshit? But y'all got money, y'all don't want to get together and buy no land. Land is power.
Land is
Right. Say it again.
They not listening to anything y'all saying when y'all standing there with the motherfucking, oh, we got so much money, we got business, y'all look like goddamn fools. Land is power.
It sure is.
I yield.
Your land is definitely your power.
I'm sorry. That's Melody right there, man.
Definitely your power.
Well,
Matter of fact, it's the only thing that they can't make any more of. Everything else they can make some more of. But
And where's it going?
You can't make it.
Where's land gonna go?
So your land is everything. You get your piece of land, that's your wealth.
You cannot destroy land. You might can burn it, but it can regenerate.
There's more land up under that.
Right.
It's the same land.
Yeah. But I love that it's called Never Again. I mean, that to me is pretty amazing. And I think that even if you can't make it to Tulsa, you should definitely still be celebrating it. And not only that, just the fact that it's called Never Again, I think that's the reason why, too, that they want to take all the talk about slavery and black history out of schools, because that's what our babies and that's what we're saying, never again. And so if you see all of this and you see where your ancestors came from and your ancestors are speaking to you in your spirit, I mean, just them coming up with that, never again. I'm sorry. I know I said it like 3 times, but that's amazing.
Oh, man.
Never again.
Say it again.
Next
Y'all
time.
say it out there.
But I do love that it's called Never Again, because that's what we saying. Never again. You're not going to do that. Like Sister Melly said, I will blow your ass out the sky. Come flying over here. But we have Sister Barbara in the house.
Sister Barbara!
And it's a pleasure to have you, Sister.
We love Sister Barbara, yes.
Well, thank you, Sister Melly, for your passion. I hear it in your voice. The passion is all the years of mistreatment, and it's really embedded in the DNA, in our cells. The National Association of Black Psychologists, they had to go to the Center for Disease Control and built a case that said that every black person in America is suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. You understand? It's documented. It's a disease. It's evil.
Dr. Jones,
you see, this is what has happened. And what we're experiencing is our cells are crying out in terror and horror. Because how long can a person exist with that same type of malicious, negative, piercing pain that stabs? I mean, James Baldwin said to be black and live in America is to be constantly in a state of rage every day. Really, that's my quote. I quote it all the time when I get to acting crazy. And it's not craziness, it's just frustration. The same old. But I want to talk about, I respect everything that you said, Sister Monique, about our history. Now I feel great that I grew up and went to segregated schools. And my teachers taught me black history, but they didn't know it. They did not know it like the Naeem Akbars, like Dr. Ben Jacoma, like John Henry Clark. No, they didn't know it. They could only teach so much, really. Because that was my segregated schools. And when I went to integrated schools in New Jersey, I had some white teacher who tried to tell the class that slavery was okay, laughing and joking, and I'm the only black person in the class because, hey, I'm one of 6 people graduated from class of 266, 1966. Only 6 black people. And we were up there because, hey, my grandparents migrated to New Jersey from the South, really. And then they bought housing all around. And now that housing has been bought back by white people. My grandmother sold her house and moved to Virginia, but when she sold it, she had land her father gave her. My great-great-grandfather, he owned about 500 acres in Virginia. And he was able to grow tobacco. And he was able to leave to his children 40 acres apiece. My grandmother got 40 acres. She passed it down to my father. My father has that land. My little brother lives on the land. But my father also sold land to, my Aunt Virginia and Jonathan. And so we had a little compound, all of the family in one area. So I said, Saging and Aging, I've seen it. I've seen what land does. And I know that the land that is in our family, we had one male survivor. He's still alive. And when he passes away, then my cousin will get it because he is the male survivor from that particular family. So that goes back to saging and aging. And I want to talk about housing. So my grandfather had the land. He built a house. We have our family grave site back there, way back in the woods, really. And you can't even find it hardly.
That's us.
Yeah, can't find it. But what we do know is that housing is important, land is important, because land, whoever owns the land has the power. You can create anything on a piece of land. I think when we sage and age, we need to really look at the fact that how do our seniors age in housing? Do they own their own homes? Are they able to maintain the home and live in it? Because there's lots of programs for older people to live in homes. The government wants to keep you in a home. You can get money. All kinds of money is out there. So if there's seniors, listen to it. Don't feel frustrated. Don't think that it's not possible. There are programs. See, the programs were created for white people, and we happen to find out about it every now and then. Really.
Here and
They
there.
didn't do it for us.
Somebody who knows somebody.
Right.
You know anything about grants,
Hey,
please holler at Unity Community.
Brothers gotta tell us what's going on so we can get on the bandwagon, because look, they can't deny every one of us being in this program. This program's like affordable housing, okay? So in Denver they have a matrix of affordable housing. And for seniors, you can live in senior affordable housing. Sometimes it's 55 plus. They're younger folks. And, it's a little bit higher. When you get to be 62, they'll say, oh, you're 62. So your housing might be something like you might pay 30%, or if it's affordable, 40%, 50%, 60%. We're talking about the annual median index. Average median index, because that's how the rent here in Denver, without any help, a 1-bedroom is $1,400. A 2-bedroom is about $2,000.
Easily.
Imagine you can save $1,400, $2,000 every month. So the seniors kind of get something. But the amenities, how do you build senior housing and you don't ask seniors what they want? That's my beef right now.
Right.
Really. You get all this money. What does the senior want? Then after the fact, you decide you want to create something. I think everyone alive has the right and opportunity to have access to maybe a little balcony, a little stepping stone so you can sit out and get some fresh air. Or what are you going to do? Do you get a wash machine in there? Do you give up something to get something? Even this new housing. And who manages these places? Are they kind, caring people? Or are they control freaks? What I say is we need to check on the elders. We need to see where they're living, how they're living. Is it in a family that there's multiple generations? Imagine if you could live with your grandmother. I had the opportunity to live with my grandmother, honestly. And she told me our family history. If I ask my dad, he don't know it, because he don't want to know it. But I do have one cousin in the family that documented it. So I get to talk to them, because I'm a history buff. I like English.
I love it too.
So I want to say tonight, I heard Sister Monique talk about them teaching us history in school. Hey, let's teach our own. I taught my own children. They didn't get any history taught to them. They went to Thornton High School. Hey, I didn't even know they were being called Spirit Chuckle and Jungle Bunny every day there. Ironically, I took a job there for 2.5 years as a diversity facilitator, administrator, and that's when I found out that they were persecuted every day. You see, when you know yourself, you don't let that bother you. But I also had impetus. I made sure I was an advocate for my children. I would pop in the schools and see what was going on. Then white teachers would be running. Why is your mother coming to school? My children would say, we don't know. Do you know why she's coming? I did it because I learned that in the white school I went to, the parents advocated for their children. They wouldn't let anything go by. They went and stood at the board of education meetings and demanded certain things. I demanded certain things from the board of education. Really. I demanded it. So it's ironic how stuff goes around, but we have to be diligent, persistent, focused, and each one of us is responsible for teaching our own children their history as much as we can. So I'm glad that we're here and that we're talking about the real issues. And I too applaud 100-year celebration of what? Did they drop the bomb on Tulsa? On Greenwood, on Black Wall Street? This is systematic. They tore down, what's the other town? Rosewood, Florida. Okay.
So many.
That's why I said it's so sad that you aren't celebrating that something
The
was
destruction.
destroyed. Yeah, it's almost like you're celebrating.
Destruction.
That's why it's called what?
Never again.
Never again.
And it's
Right.
good. The whole thing with Tulsa is that a white woman said a black man had done something to her. She lied. This white woman was a Unitarian Universalist, and they have done like a public apology to all the descendants and survivors of that. But the
On her
woman, she lied
deathbed.
from the jump street. Really. She lied from the jump street.
Yeah.
And lots of
She
people
came out and
died.
said that.
And then we
On
have
her
to say
deathbed.
the jealousy. How could the white people all around feel comfortable with this prosperous, very prosperous community? You see, They had an airport, 5 banks. Whatever they need, they were self-contained and self-sufficient. So that's the goal, you see.
They don't
Self-sufficient.
like to see you now with a decent job, so they don't want to see, like, if they give you just a little, they will surpass them.
And it's crazy. It was Black Wall Street set on just 40 acres.
That's all, like 40 acres.
The whole
in the
Greenwood.
Wow.
40 acres.
Yeah. So that's jealousy, and hatefulness, and mean-spirited people. Because what I just connected that is that these white people never saw us as human. What they saw black people who came here, they wanted them to be their servants. They see us serving them. They can't not do it. They'll let every now and then an Oprah Winfrey come through just to pretend that it's balanced.
And she's serving
Everybody
in her
can
own
accomplish.
way.
Oh, yeah.
She's still serving in her own way.
They'll
She
say
in there.
every now and then.
Been in there, really.
Or, you know, they like LeBron James. Hey, got to win the game. But it's about, we're going to change the dialect. So thank you for letting me be here. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you. Yes, always a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Definitely.
Thank you, Mom.
Yes. So, Melly, do you have anything you want to say before I pass it back to my husband and Brother Sekou and let them? So she went in. She ain't playing with y'all.
Playing with y'all. This my heart hurts.
I get it. Sometimes you gotta vent. Let it out.
I don't understand. I love my baby, and I want to see better for our black children. I love our black babies. Our babies are too beautiful to keep suffering. And then sometimes, you know, and we have to welcome the struggle being black people because there's no other way I don't want to be nothing else but a black person. So I have to welcome the struggle. But goddamn, I'm tired of struggling. I'm tired of my baby struggling. My baby look in my eyes. I don't want to see that hopelessness they have in their faces.
Yeah.
How can you look in your baby's eyes and not understand them? That's why I know that y'all sick. And it's not, and I'm not even saying that it's not me. I'm part of that problem, that sick problem. Because we live in a sick and poison society. So we feed off of it daily. And it's a daily battle to even stay an African-centered person in this world.
That's right.
But I'm here for it. And I'm not, like I said, I'm that deal nigga. I'm not going to turn around. And I'm not standing down. I'm apologetic for these babies as long as I got breath in my body. I love y'all. We got to do better, fam. I love y'all. Black power.
All right, y'all. So that is the Queen's Corner. We're gonna let
Queen's Corner. So thank y'all. Yes, definitely. We love when our sisters are here. You know what I'm saying? And like we were talking about the 19 families in Georgia. You know, this is my family. This is my, when we get out there and hopefully don't nothing happen like, you know, all the electricity go out and we're going to have to fend for ourselves, which can happen in the blink of an eye. But, you know, I'm a conspiracy theorist. But, you know, these are my 19 families. You know what I'm saying? And we all need to find that. We all need to find that tribe of ours and, you know, connect with the tribes when we do get them, fam. It's not going to always be this here. You know what I'm saying? We are so comfortable in uncomfortability here in America. You know what I'm saying? Shit can change on a dime. Did you see when when they took over the little gas pipelines? Like in Georgia, was supposedly Russian hackers. I don't even know anything about that. But if they could do it, imagine what they could do with our water supply. Imagine what they could do to the electrical grid. You know? y'all are comfortable in the middle of a battlefield, family. You know?
That's the thing, Brother Noble. They are doing it. Don't you know last week the United States sold some kind of I can't remember if it was a gas line or pipeline. They sold the control of it to China. They are selling the control to of things that's going on.
Doing it in Africa too.
United States to China, but they play these games. It's all a game, and we are the pawns in that game. I bow out the game, you feel me? Because we can stay out of it. Because to break the system is not to, support the
Not
system.
to participate.
It's not to support the system, it's to support us.
Right.
We support ourselves. We can break this.
That's right.
Our money funds them. Our money, our bodies, our lives fund these white folks, these monkeys or whoever it is.
We fund their comfortability. That's right.
They live off of us. When are we gonna start living off of us?
That part.
That's right, fam. We gotta stay on it, and what I just want to get on something real quick, and then I'm gonna give it to our brother Sekou. I've been having this tick for tack thing, man. And when I first got into this, and I'm trying to fundraise to build a community for our people, I was seeing a lot of this tick for tack where I had one brother like, if I donate to your cause, can you put me on as a rap star and show my video on her? And another brother is asking for, can I help advertise his stuff? I'm sorry, fam. I can't do anything but this. Do y'all see this? Y'all see that right there? This is all I can focus on right now and my family. I can't fund the next rap star. I can't advertise the next whatever you're trying to do. So when you do come to Unity Community, family, just know that that's all I'm about. And you can take offense to it if you want to, and you don't want to do nothing but if no. But just know I'm not doing this for myself. I'm not in this for myself. I'm in this to start a real revolution. People talking about revolution. This is the revolution. Separating from these motherfuckers. That's a revolution, family. And that's the only answer that I can find. Unless, like I said, all out war. And once again, we're not ready for that. So I just want a lot of people to know that when you come, it's not a tit for tat. It's not you scratch my back and I scratch yours. You do for this. Because this is for us. And like I said, this is not just Colorado. We're trying to do this, I want to create a movement to where this starts in the whole United States. Because we should have that. Shouldn't we? Right. For building this motherfucker up. Shouldn't we have our own separate space in the United States? The white people can have their whatever little part, but it should be a certain designated space for us. No?
In every state.
Every state. A city, at least, in every state.
So, that's what I just want people to know, because I run into a lot of that, and it's really frustrating. And I don't want to, go to another level on people and stuff, but I just wanted y'all to tell y'all, if you are not about empowerment and you are not about building communities, don't mess with me, man. Don't mess with me and tell me that you got this and I got that, but it's in exchange for this. Because I'm going to tell you no. And I'm going to tell you I really don't give a fuck about what you're doing. Sorry. Sorry. And we're unapologetic on here, but I don't want my people to feel like that, but it's time for us to get focused. Time is running out, family. So I want to definitely give a shout out to the Never Again March. And just like our sister Melly Queen was saying, man, let's not put this on our mind that, if we do this, they're just going to bomb it again. That is the stupidest idea and the stupidest notion to that ever, man. We know how to defend ourselves. So, and then I wanted to just talk quickly about this new this new protesting law that they have in Tulsa, where they're about to have this march at. I want all my brothers from the Huey P. Newton to the new Black Panther Party to the original Black Panthers. I want all y'all to be on notice. And watch this right quick.
Oklahoma is one of 11 states offering immunity to drivers who hit protesters with their car. This November, the law goes into effect to protect drivers who unintentionally injure or kill a protester if the driver felt that they were in danger. The law also punishes people found guilty of participating in riots with up to 10 years in prison. A riot in Oklahoma can be any 3 people who use force or threaten to use it. Oklahoma State Senator Shane Jett sponsored the legislation and sees it as a response to the Black Lives Matter movement.
All of our people are coming. This is going to be one historical event.
Right.
Don't go up there playing with these people. Take care of your business. Do what you got to do up there. Come on, family. Come on.
That's right. And
Don't let them put this in your face. Cause I see how they doing things. They got all these little movies coming out on Hulu, you know, about y'all see the one about I know they got the one about Fred Hampton. Then they had the one about Billie Holiday. You know, stop. Okay, we got to know our history, but don't let it keep you from moving forward. Stop letting that fear. It's only fear. Y'all so afraid of what's on the other side. It's victory on the other side.
liberation.
Because we have our ancestors, they got our back. It's victory. It's peace on the other side. But we're going to have to shed some blood to get there. And I'm not afraid to shed it. We died for nothing anyway. Make that death, make that blood that you shed, that blood that your family members are shedding, make it mean something. Man, I don't understand it. When I see a black person, it makes my heart just skips a beat. That beauty, that diversity in that person, and then I look into their eyes and I see that hopelessness and that sadness. All because of you afraid. Get that fear at your heart, baby. We are African warriors. Warriors. You hear that word?
Ashe.
Stop being afraid. Stop being afraid. Because y'all riding in fear. Our babies are not afraid. They ready and unguided. Because y'all sitting up here weak and afraid. Afraid of what?
That's right. And that's why we got to let our family know that if you want to be a warrior, you got to first realize and recognize that you are at war. And that's what we have to get through to a lot of these people, because everybody thinking it's just cotton candy until, boom, the lights go out.
You got to be willing to die for your freedom, too.
That's right.
Because that's one thing that white people have always been willing to do.
That's right. Brutal. That's why they're so used to this, man. And that's what I was talking to another brother about, man. These people have came up in war. Their whole culture is about war, fighting, killing, taking over land, because they didn't have nothing. I mean, these people was in caves. And yes, they were. I don't care what nobody says. Ban me, whatever. Look at it on Patreon or YouTube. These people have been at war their whole existence. So they're skilled at it. And not just war, just being shady and underhanded and just downright just inhumane at some parts.
But the thing is, Brother Noble, they are animals and they survive that. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
So we are humans. How are we not on this same mentality of survival? See, I feel them on that point. You see what I'm saying? Because they are in a survival mode. So yeah, they have the war to survive.
But see, like, look at what we're used to. You know, if we came from Africa or any kind of tropical region that we were at, we were cool. We didn't have to fight for the last scraps and fight for our only food and fight for heat and, you know what I'm saying, a well-being. We didn't have to do that. It was abundant. It was everywhere. Like Dr. Phil said, you can go get your mango off a tree right quick, peanuts and stuff. These people were living in caves where there was nothing but rock. You can't eat rock.
They was eating each other.
So that's the next option. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, we got our brother Sekou in Sekou's corner. You get quiet over there. You got to explode. Boom.
All right, Ghani, what's the news? What's going on? Hotep and here we go again. And again and again and again. And until we get to our liberation and unity, we just gonna have to go through this over and over and over again as we step up and build and take it to higher levels and higher levels and higher levels. And so I am this evening optimistically self-determined to get the job done. Period. No matter what. And it's going to be generational. It's going to be generational. And the truth is, the generations today are more conscious earlier than ever in the history of us being on this planet. I'm talking about real. All right? And we may not see it, but you best believe in that this generation that's coming up today are less compliant, or less can't we all get along? They are more determined, and they are more apt to pick up the gun than ever before. Than ever before. Now they just have to be directed as to who to shoot. That's it. You got the basics down. You got the basics down. You know what I'm saying? And so you know what to do. And not only are they willing to die for it, they're willing to kill for it. Mm-hmm. See? And we got to get to that stage of not just self-defense, but we have to be willing to kill our enemy. Period. It just works like that. Because we are at war, we've been at war, and we will continue to fight to reestablish and retain and sustain our humanity. And that's all about being human. So, no. The system of white supremacy and capitalist exploitation is no more than another way of expressing slavery just a little bit smoother. That's all. That's all. That's all that's happening. Just a smoother way of bringing death and destruction. And it's right. They'll make you think it's your fault while you oppress. It's your fault.
For real.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't want
Why don't you get out of the cage?
No, I'm done. This
Pick
is the
yourself
story.
up by the bootstraps.
This is the story, and we start. And our own intellectuals begin to explain away the role that the oppressor plays in us being the way we are. Like we did this on our own. Right. You know what I'm talking about? Real. You know what I'm saying? And if you just wouldn't spend your money on weeds, and if you just wouldn't take your money and give it to the Chinese, and if I ain't got no money, I ain't got no money. What I have is consumption. That's all I do. That's all I do. Even when I take the money and I give it and spend it with a black business, I have no power over what they do with the money. And usually the first thing they do is get out of the neighborhood with the money and give it back to the cracker.
To the white banks.
See? Give it back to the cracker. See? And then some of them are so outrageous and programmed that they act as if they doing me a favor. I'm talking about for real. Because they feel that we're captured. You know what I'm saying? And that we ain't got nowhere else to go to. And the truth is, we need revolutionary business folks whose primary concern with black people is customer service. See, make us feel good about spending the money, then I don't care where you take it. You know what I'm saying? But I need to feel like I'm respected by my own. See, that means more to me than going to a white store because I know what I'm going to get there. You know what I'm saying? That means more to me than going to have some Chinese food in a Chinese restaurant. See? Because I know what my expectations is when I get there. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have my own places to go to eat. And I got to eat. For real. And so I have a choice to either go home and cook my own food that I got from King Supers, because I don't have my grocery store, which means I'm giving you back the money. Again. Even if I stay at home, I'm giving you back the money.
Right.
I'm paying you rent.
Right? So the problem we have is we have $1 trillion consumer market that we are captured, all right? Disrespected, and because we don't have our own, we have no way of building wealth. That's it. The consumer power does not build wealth. It don't.
Keeping it there.
All right? It don't. It don't. All right? Having a house, you know what I'm saying? You're giving the money back to the bank. And until you pay for it, it's not yours. And even when you do pay it, you don't pay the property taxes, the state will take it back.
For real.
So you never own it. So we got to get for real about where we at. See? The system must be overthrown. Period. Revolution takes systems and turns them over. See? It's just like going from the Robin Hood days when you had the king and queens. You know what I'm saying? You had to wipe out the royal family because they owned everything. They own everything. And who put you in that position where you're thinking that you can own everything? Who are you? Where'd you get that idea? You know, where'd you get that idea? And then you want to own me? You know what I'm saying? Why? I'm broke. What are you going to do with me? You know what I'm saying? I'm a liability. You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do with me? You know what I'm saying? And now they got to a point, especially in the 50 states now, they don't need us. For what? For what? If 45 million black folks disappeared tomorrow, do you think they miss us?
Yeah.
I'm talking about real. They got these new
Who
niggas,
entertain them?
you know what I'm saying, that just came in across the border. You know what I'm saying? That want to take our job because they think we're doing so good. They've been reading Ebony magazine, all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Look, that's the game. That's the propaganda. That's the trick. They will give you LeBron James. They'll give it to you. And he's a good brother. He's standing up like no other basketball player ever did in the history of the NBA. See? And he got all the rest of them that they call the GOATs counseling him, showing him how to do this. Right? But he even took it way beyond their imagination because you can tell he really don't care what folks think about him. He really don't care. You know? And he spends his money in the black community, doing tangible things like creating computer rooms. You never heard him building no basketball courts. Because he knows that ain't but 40 jobs and there's 40 million kids that got hoop dreams. Now what's the other rest of them going to do? See, what the rest of them going to do? See? But he's showing that there's more to sports than just running back and forth in the building and ain't going nowhere. It's entertainment. It's entertainment. So we're at war. But the war is to overthrow the enemy, not coexist with him, not get along with him. The system has got to go, and all of these things that we talked about are just symptoms of the system, are just symptoms of a code of conduct that they live by. They hate us. It don't matter for what reason, and they act that out. And they don't care how much money you got. They don't care what class you're in. So we're winning, and we don't even know it. That's how good it is. You know what I'm saying? That's how swift it is. You know what I'm saying? And so pay attention and listen to learn, and learn to listen to the youth, because they are the spark of revolution. They can't sustain it on their own. They need help. But they will jump it off, Jack, real quick. And so I would be remiss if not to give a shout out to our executive producer, Brother Jaheem. You know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to edit this and make it look like I got some sense. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm eternally grateful, you know, for him and his generation, because they're going to step it up. And they stepping it up now. Your children are stepping it up now, 7 years old. No more Black history than I do. You know what I'm saying? I be trying to forget shit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the pain of knowing. See? And you got to want to know this. Whether you need it or not, because it's going to be a painful journey. It is. It's going to be painful. So you might as well know where you're going. And that's what history will give you. It'll give you a direction. It'll give you purpose, and it'll give you an ID, an identity, so that you can feel good about who you are. So remember, only you can prevent forest fires. Burn, baby, burn. Ready for the revolution.
Yep, so I want to thank everybody for tuning on in tonight to Mile High News. We missed a week or so here, but we back now.
Support, donate, Unity Community, Mile High News. We here, we building, nation building.
That's right, fam. Unity Community is on Cash App, $ Unity Community 2021. And make sure y'all tune in next week for our live show. And we love y'all, family.
Ready for the revolution.